What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and I'm joined by Tyler. And today we're going to talk about if Benicio del Toro's character is Ezra in Star Wars Episode 8 and really Star Wars Rebels, connecting the two. We're going to talk a little bit about that, and we're going to talk kind of about what that could mean for the character in Episode 8 and maybe how that connects to some characters that we already know. So let's go through what we think. So Benicio del Toro's character has been pretty quiet for Episode 8. There's been pictures of him filming. He's rumored to be in like all black, like he wears all black. But there hasn't actually been much, like Tyler pointed out, there hasn't been a lot of talk about his character. He didn't show up at Star Wars Celebration, and he does play a like, pretty big role in Episode 8. And Tyler, do you want to talk about what we heard from him with lightsaber and battling thing? What's that rumor?
Well, I guess all we know, based on rumor, that before anyone says, well, it's just rumor, so it doesn't matter. Well, part of the same rumor was that there's going to be this Asian actress who's going to play a First Order spy who gets close to Finn, and all of this stuff happens, but really she's like working for Benicio del Toro's character. Well, as we saw from the celebration, we see that there is the Asian character, and we know that her character does get close to Finn.
Right.
So it makes that rumor that much more credible. So yeah, basically we don't know much because there's a few different descriptions where he seems like a little bit like slimy and kind of like a scumbag. Something about like how he looks like he belongs on the streets or something like that, which I think is an interesting point. And I believe he wields a lightsaber. Well, then there's other stuff that says that he wears all black. He has a belt that looks kind of like Han Solo's. He has a very clean, nice, new-looking ship that kind of resembles the Millennium Falcon, but not really. Then he has like this really weird hat that doesn't have a brim on it. So there's all these other things, but I guess the most important thing is, looks like he belongs in the street. Looks kind of like you can't trust him. Can't trust him. All in black. He wields a lightsaber, supposedly, according to the rumor. He'll be in a big fight towards the end of the movie with Luke and Rey, along with the Knights of Ren. So he'll be with the Knights of Ren. He's not part of the Knights of Ren, but he'll be with the Knights of Ren. And then face off against, I think it said Finn, Rey, and Luke. And I don't know what happens. I think he ends up taking on Finn, if I remember right. But
Right.
I don't know.
He takes on Finn, and Kylo and the Knights of Ren take on Luke and Rey.
So that's the description of the character in the movie. That's all we know. All we can go by is rumor. We know he's obviously in it. We know that they're keeping it very hush-hush, which to me means that there's an importance to that character. And then there's rumors online saying that he might be Ezra Bridger from Star Wars Rebels. I actually like that thought. And then the reason people say that is, well, throughout Star Wars Rebels, and it's been proven true quite a bit, like as the seasons have gone on, Ezra uses emotion a lot. He lets his emotions kind of take hold of him sometimes. He's gotten a lot darker. Like you were telling me, his fighting style has changed. It's way more aggressive.
Right.
Now, I believe, if I'm remembering it, I do watch the show, but I kind of like honestly skip through sometimes on like the filler episodes. Because sometimes I just want to see the lightsaber battles. But like on big episodes, and I know when they're going to be a big episode, just based on like online, then I'll watch the full thing. But in season 3, he's much angrier almost the whole time. But I believe his eyes turned yellow once. Also, he worked with Darth Maul for quite a while. And well, quite a while, like Showtime. But like for what we've seen, it was only a few episodes.
Right.
But he wasn't afraid to use the Sith holocron. So he's definitely open to turning to the dark side, I think. But what's interesting is Ezra Bridger, is kind of a streets type character. Like he's kind of like an Aladdin. So that's interesting to me that was said for Benicio del Toro's character for
Right.
Episode 8, that it looks like he kind of belongs in the street. you can say that about Ezra Bridger. So I thought that was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as we know too, Star Wars Rebels season 4 is the final season. So either they're all gonna die except for Hera, so either they're all gonna die except for her, or they'll just kind of like be scattered or something, or live on somehow, or we'll see like a flash forward. But I think that's actually interesting that it's gonna end. It's not gonna end before Star Wars Episode 8, but it's gonna be the final season as Star Wars Episode 8 is out in the theaters, and then by the time the DVD for Star Wars Episode 8 comes out, it's gonna be close to the final episodes. So by then we might know the fate of Ezra through Star Wars Episode 8, if that is Ezra in Star Wars Episode 8 as Benicio del Toro.
Right.
And it's definitely possible. And I think there's a reason that they're ending Rebels, and I think it's more than just, well, we don't want to show too much, because then we'll go past Rogue One and all these other details. I think there's more to it.
Right, and you know, we said like the rumor of him wielding a lightsaber. Obviously, that adds a little, you know. So he.
Oh, there's one more thing that because I'm sorry, I'm looking through images. There's one more thing too. So part of the rumor is that he wields a lightsaber, but he also carries a pistol. He carries a pistol along with a lightsaber.
Yep. So like physical traits of them or what they carry item-wise, wielding the lightsaber and the pistol, that's a big one. Also, they talk about, or if you line up ages, they obviously they do kind of put a bit of thought into the age of characters, with the distance of episode 6 and 7 and even 3 to 4. There is an age gap where you can't have Luke or you can't have Rey be an actress that's like 35, right? So they have to be actually Rey or Daisy Ridley was around 21 years old when she filmed episode 7, which was close to what Rey is supposed to actually be, 18 to 20 or whatever. And Ezra, at the time, if he survives, so if in the case of him surviving to episode 8, he'd be around 51 years old. And Benicio del Toro's character, he's 40, or him himself, he was 49 when he filmed it. So ages line up too, like, so you know, it's not the most important thing, but the ages definitely match up, and we know ages kind of a big. Every character in this world has an importance kind of to their age of where they've been, like with their history. So that's kind of an important thing is ages. So we know his character, we know he's in it. We don't know exactly what his character is. We think it's Ezra. Now, Tyler, there's a sub theory to this that could be like crazy if it happens. Probably won't happen, but what's that theory?
So the theory is that Ezra Bridges and then Sabine Wren end up together and their child is Rey. And I actually do myself think, I don't think that Ezra's the father, I think it's possible though. But I don't think that Ezra's the father, but I do think that Sabine is definitely the mother of Rey. Which we have a video on. Well, what the rumor not the rumor, but the theory says is that so they have Rey, but then Ezra starts kind of going towards the dark side and all that stuff. And he is very powerful, as we see in Star Wars Rebels, for not being a Skywalker. He's very powerful. So it kind of like scares Sabine. And I think you told me that he ends up training with, well, the theory is he might end up training with Luke.
Yeah, he goes to the Jedi Academy. Yeah.
Gets closer to the dark side. And then Luke and Sabine kind of are afraid for Rey or something, so they hide her away from him.
Right, and he ends up going on like a streak and destroys the Jedi. He's the one who destroys the temple, and he's the one who kills Rey's mom, who in this case would be Sabine. So it's an interesting theory, and it makes the first half definitely makes sense if Ezra's still alive. And, there's very few Jedi, especially in episode 4, 5, 6. But then you have this emergence after the Empire is destroyed. You have this emergence of Luke. And so maybe Ezra sees, well, he's starting up this Jedi Academy. I'm going to go help him, or I'm going to go train under him, the most powerful Jedi in the galaxy. So he goes, to the academy, and then, you know, the rest of it is, you know, taking a leap, having Rey. But then again, with the being influenced by the dark side, that's proven that that can be done to him. So it makes sense he would join the academy, and it makes sense that the dark side could get to him. And then the rest of it is basically he has Rey. Luke knows how powerful she can be. It kind of separates her from him. He destroys everything, and then Luke, as a payback, hides Rey from him. And so we'll have to see, you know, a dead giveaway will be if they see each other in episode 8, and we would see from that, like, what's going to happen. But it's an interesting theory for sure. Like, it's not the cookie cutter, like it's Luke, like it's obviously Luke. We still think it is Luke, but it's an interesting, like, side possibility. So what do you guys think about these theories in general, and Ezra or Benicio del Toro's character in the movie? Who do you think he's going to be? What do you think his role is going to be? Do you think the rumors are true? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now, for more of these videos. Make sure you like this video and share it. Thank you, Tyler, for joining me for another Star Wars video, and we will see you guys on the next one.